Hey guys, welcome to the Personal Finance, and today's video is going to be really short, and this is an answer to a couple of questions that I received from many of my subscribers, right? The ones who were asking that, can you give us a quick thumb rule on how to determine how much corpus is needed? Of course, you might be aware of this particular sheet that I'm sharing, that this sheet is a pretty comprehensive Excel modeling, which I believe isn't available anywhere freely on the web for India, right? So we give inputs here, a lot of variables inputs. If you have not seen, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and check many of the other videos. You'll find details on this. There's goals. You can put in various goals. Goal 1 is basically retirement, right? And goal 2 is nothing but education corpus. Goal 3 is probably vacation corpus. Goal 4, it could be anything else. Goal 5 could be anything, other goal that you may want to see and things like that. And output, what you get is some sort of confidence measures that you get for your goals, right? But today we are discussing only retirement because the other goals are pretty deterministic, right? And today I'm going to give you a thumb rule. For example, in the journey that you have been with me for almost 6 to 7 months right now, if somebody comes and asks you that, okay, fine, you know what, you are so much knowledgeable about financial planning. Can you tell me a particular number? How much do I need for retirement? Again, as I said, retirement alone, because other goals are pretty deterministic, right? You know when they are occurring, right? You know when you have to hit the money. You know if any goal is beyond 7 or 10 years, you can probably take an average of 10% returns, right, of the market. But retirement is very tricky. And that too, retirement is tricky because if the retirement is happening only, if it's occurring in next, say, 3 to 5 years, right? Because the sequence of returns and all those things really matter to all of you, right? So now I'm going to give you a thumb rule. So before that, welcome to the channel. If you are new, you may not have seen, this may not be the first video that, not the best video that you might be seeing right now. So my name is Ravi, and I financial planning services to all my subscribers and members, right? The way it begins is that I give this Excels for free, no charge, right? You just have to email me at findia@gmail.com. I think that's scrolling down, and you will be seeing lots of details. You'll be getting this Excel for free, and you can actually do it DIY in terms of financial planning. And from then on, we can sit and chat. You might see a couple of contents on my channel as well. So today's video is a thumb rule of how to plan. What's the number for retirement alone? Again, let me repeat: retirement alone, not for other goals of yours, because they're deterministic. Buying a house, education, vacation, whatever it may be, right? So the way we have to begin this entire thing is, one is, of course, using this sheet, which is Monte Carlo, right? Okay, fine. What Monte Carlo can we do it? 1 second, right? Or if you have one of these things, you can say, okay, fine. I just want my expense of 10 lakh rupees per year, and I have got 5.5 crores right now with me, right? At 45. My expense will be 10. You can actually put your expense based on the years, inflated years and all. For example, if your today's expense is 7 lakh rupees and your age is 40, you may say, okay, I will be at 45 putting 10 lakh rupees and stuff like that. The best way for a thumb rule is to begin with a simplest of case, which is 0% real rate of return. And let me write it here for you as we are discussing, right? I'll add this here in this particular cell. So the first thumb rule, right? The first thumb rule, hopefully you can see, let me just increase this a little bit. Yeah. The first rule could be that just multiply your age, right? So let's say you are living till 90 years. You just subtract your age and you multiply that with your annual expense. This would be called as 0 real rate of return, right? That's the first and foremost thumb rule, that if you have this much of money with you right now, say your age is 40, so the remaining rest of the retirement age is 50, your annual expense is 10 lakh rupees. So if you have 5 crore rupees, you are safe for retirement, safe in a sense, safe for a discussion for retirement. All of it assumes that your retirement is you are going to live a lifestyle similar or lower to the current lifestyle. Okay? Similar lifestyle or lower to the current lifestyle. None of it assumes that you are going to have a lifestyle creep. That means you are going to have an increased lifestyle year on year. None of the modeling, assumes that. Now, this is a range, obviously, right? We don't know what all things will happen, right? We don't know what all things can happen during retirement. Things like that. So, the best way to get a range, because it's a range, right? It's not. This gives you a number. The best way to get a range of how much corpus one would need is you will need a corpus anywhere close to minus 2% real rate of return, say 0% real rate of return. Let me explain that to you, okay? So let me just remove this, what I had given here to you, and let me go back to this table here. And this is what many of you might have seen earlier, but if you are new, you will be probably having some information away from this, right? So let's say you have a corpus of 5 crores and your age is about 45 right now, or let's say your age is 40, okay? Your annual expense is about 10 lakh rupees per annum. Your corpus is 5 crores. So your range of age till this corpus will last is 73 years of age to 89 years of age. So very big range, right? The corpus may last anywhere between 73 years of age to 89 years of age. So there's a gap of 17 years roughly that this corpus may last. The best way to view this is this table, which I had shown this to you earlier, but then again, I'll show this to you. Since we are giving a range and the range is pretty wide, I'm going to show you something real quick, right? Per lakh of expense, based on the age here, this is the corpus that you will need. For example, if you are 35 years of age, per lakh, you require 73 lakhs. If it is just minus 2% of real rate of return, you require 1 crore roughly. Per lakh, you require 1 crore. That means if your expense is 10 lakh annually, you require 10 crore rupees. Okay. So now what I have done is I have estimated the real rate of return. What is real rate of return? It's very simple, right? Remove this inflation, that year's inflation from the return, and that's your RRR, real rate of return. Now, what I have assumed this table is, again, it's a thumb rule, right? It's a ballpark number that we're trying to find, right? It's basically that at age 35, you can beat the inflation by 1%. That means you can get 1 plus 1% return. As you age, you don't want to take risk. Can you see the amount of buffers that has been there here? Somebody might say, okay, this is useless, right? Minimum तो 2% से आपको inflation को beat करना ही चाहिए. But we are not taken that, right? So we taken 1%. Somebody can say, why 1%? Why not take 0% from starting 35 only? Because you can take risks, right? You can take risks at the age 35. So that's why it is 1%. Now, we have assumed that, okay, fine, at 35 you can take some risks and 1% is something that you can go ahead and beat the market. And as you progress in your age, right, you are at somewhere about that 40 or 41 years of age, you are unable to beat the inflation and you are going negative. Somebody may say, no, मैं तो 40-45 साल तक काम करूँगा. That's fine. I mean, I'm just giving you a ballpark number, right? So at, say, after 65 years of age, your returns are minus 2%. That means you are not able to beat the inflation. Your FD also will not beat the inflation. Even FDs will not beat the inflation. So you can see that how much of the numbers are baked into it. This is where the range comes from, right? This is where the range comes from. Now, if you consider this, these are table for a fixed real rate of return. This table is for the fixed real rate of return. For example, if you consider that throughout your retirement, you are going to beat inflation by 1%, this is the number you require per lakh of your expense based on the age. For example, at 46 years of age, you require per lakh 35 lakh expense. But if you consider this modeling, if you consider estimated RRR is going to be this, and this is in my view the ideal case wherein, okay fine, you can consider this and take a thumb rule, then this table, my dear friends, is what best you can get in terms of the thumb rule. Now beyond this, for example, if you are age 40 and only for retirement, per lakh you have 71 lakh of planning that you need to do. Per lakh of expense, you need 71 lakhs at the age 40. Considering 90 to 100 range age. So if you see, the goal is going actually till 90 years and it's zero. Corpus is zero here. Again, a lot of buffers here, but then I think in my experience, right, having seen a couple of retirees of 58, 60 years as well, and their expenses, their lifestyles, we're not talking about fat, fire or anything. We are just trying to have the uppermost limit here. And of course, somebody would say uppermost limit to kya hai? 1000 crore bhi kafi nahi hai, right? Even 1000 crores are not sufficient if you're considering so for pessimistic, right? Somebody might say, well, you can go ahead and say whatever you want. But then if you see at age 40, right? If you are age 40, you are roughly, right? You need per lakh of expense, 71 lakhs. Per lakh of expense. So how to rate this table? This table, if you ask me, it's a thumb rule for you could have a thumb rule. For example, if you are just having retirement, you can say this is your fat retirement. ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, right? For example, 0% could be your best retirement corpus. At 44 years of age, you will require per lakh 67 lakhs if you are 44. If you are 45 years of age, you require 65 lakhs per lakh of expense. That means just multiply it with your annual expense and you will get whatever you want in terms of corpus. For example, if your annual expense is 10 lakhs, you require 6.5 crores at 45 years of age, and then you can retire. This goal is only for retirement, nothing else. Right? Considering this estimated RRR to be 1.85, all those things, right? Every year, you're not able to beat inflation, things like that. This is the most safe, most conservative modeling, if you ask me. If you want it to be accurate, you have seen my calculators, right? These are calculators. You can go ahead, Monte Carlo, taxation, everything is added. But then whatever modeling you do, it's going to fall between 0% and minus 2% real rate of return. Any modeling that you do, it's between 0% and minus 2% real rate of return. And that's about 17 years or 15 years of difference. Right? You can be more accurate. You go to our goal sheet, you can be even more accurate in our goal sheets, right? Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, goal 4. You keep filling that. If you don't know this thing, please go back and check a couple of my videos and you will see how to fill these sheets. The sheets are free. Please email me. I'll give this for free to you, all of you. Again, just a disclaimer, I am not a financial or investment advisor, right? I don't give advice on finances or investment. I just make Excel models, which are of course at par or even far, far better than any of the planners that they give. Advice is what you will not get. You might get a number from me. You won't get from me. I am not qualified to do that. Okay. So this is the modeling. And if anybody asks you that, okay, after so much knowledge that you have seen a lot of videos, what is that one number that you can give me the range of कितना चाहिए रिटायर होने के लिए? ये टेबल है जो which is extremely important table. You can tell that the upper limit that anybody would want to retire, say at the age of 40, is 71 lakhs per lakh of expense. That's the uppermost limit. And how you arrived? You arrived by estimating that your real rate of return, your ability to beat inflation, any inflation, could be 7, 8, 9, 10%, whatever. Say the inflation at 40 years is 7%, and you are beating it only by 7.25%, including tax. So your ability to beat inflation and taxes or whatever is just plus 0.25% in this at age 40. Hope you're understanding. Again, this is a shortest way to answer to somebody that, okay, fine, एक table है मेरे पास, have a look at this table, and that will kind of give you the corpus. So at 50 per lakh, you need 57 lakhs. At 50 years of age, per lakh, you need 57 lakhs. Right? If you have 10 lakhs expense, you need 5.7 crore rupees. Present value at that age. If not, go ahead. There are all these calculators which I am mentioning here. Put in your numbers. If you're not seen, go ahead, watch my previous videos. Then you can go ahead, check, fill in goals, and you will be done and dusted with your planning. उसके बाद तो बस इन्वेस्ट करना है, वो नंबर देखना है बस आपको.